Myself Pragati Chauhan, and today we'll learn the topic string. In Python, strings are the sequence of the characters and that is used for the text manipulation. Python provides several operations and built-in functions to work in with the strings, and today we'll discuss few of them. So our first operation is the concatenation. Concatenation is used to combine two or more strings into a one string. And for that, we use the sign of summation for that. As I have written in the example, here I have written two strings. One is named greeting and that is saying hello. Another is name and that is saying Alicia. Now, if we want to combine both strings, so we can create a new string that is saying message. And for the message, what we want to combine these two strings. So for that, we'll write greeting, then the sign of concatenation, that is plus, and then let's add for space between them for better readability, and then we'll add another sign of concatenation, that is plus sign, and then we'll write name. And when we'll print the message, we'll see the new string message will combine the both previous strings. And when we'll run this code, we'll see that we have got a new string that is saying hello Alicia. Now let's move forward. Our next operation is repetition. So repetition is used when we want to print our string for the multiple times. For example, here I have written a string name repeat that is saying hi. And if we want to print this hi for the 2 or 3 times, how can we do this? We can simply write that print and then the name of the string, that is repeat, and then we'll use the repetition sign, that is asterisk, and then we'll write we want to print it for the 3 times, that's why we'll write 3. And when we'll run this, we can see that we have got the string repeat, that is hi for the 3 times, and that is hi hi hi. Now our next operation is used to find the length of the string. So how can we get the length of the string? Here I have written a string name text and that is saying Python. Now if we want to get the length of the string, how can we do that? We can simply write print, then the name of the then the word length, and then parenthesis, and inside parenthesis we can write the name of the string. And when we'll run this code, we can see that we have got the length of the string, that is saying 6. That means the string text containing 6 letters, and these are P, Y, T, S, U, and N. And in the Python, one thing that is mm, important is that in the length, Python also count the space in its length. Here, when I've added a space between the word Python, the length becomes 7. That means Python also count space as the length. So that's how it works in the Python. Let's move forward. Our next part will be the slicing. Slicing is used to extract a part of a string using the range of the indices. That's the same functionality as we have done in the list. For example, here we have a string name text that is saying hello world. Now, if we want some substring from that string, how can we get that? With the help of slicing, we'll write the name of the string, that is text, and then we'll write the from the index from which we want to start, that is 0, and let's say we want to go till the value of 5. And when we'll run this code, we'll see there here we got the word hello. At 0 we have H, then E double L and O. So that's how the string works. Now our next operator is in operator. In operator is used to check substring if it is present or not in the string. So here we have a string name sentence. Now if we want to check any substring, by the substring I mean that here it can be love or programming, that can also be a substring here. Now let's we want to check is love present in that string or not. So we'll write simply print Then the name of the substring we want to check. We want to check love substring. In which string we want to check? That is sentence. So when we'll write this, if that substring will be present, then that will give the value true. Else it will give the value false. For example, if we convert that with the at, and if we'll run this code, we'll see that is not present in that string name sub sentence. That's why that is giving the value false. Now we'll see some common string functions. So our first function is that dot upper. Dot upper function is used to convert all the characters of the string to uppercase, that is the capital letters. It doesn't modify original string, but it creates a new string with all letters in the capital. For example, here we have a string name text, and if we want to capitalize all the letters, how can we do this? For that, we'll simply write print, then the string we want to capitalize, that is text, dot, and then we'll write dot upper, and when we'll run this code, we'll see we have got a string that is saying the same thing, that is hello world, but in capital letters. Now next is dot lower, that is used to convert all the capital letters into the lowercase letters. For example, here we have a string name text, and when we'll write print text dot lower, and when we'll run this code, we'll see we'll got the same string but in the lowercase. So that's how dot upper and dot lower works. Now our next operation is dot strip. This method removes the spaces, tabs, and new lines from the both beginning or the end of the string. Actually, it helps in the cleaning user input and processing text data. For example, here we have a string name text that is saying hello world, but there is some space in the beginning or at the end of the string. So how can we remove that? For that, we need to write print, then the name of the string, that is text, then the dot strip. And when we'll run this code, we'll see we have got the same string, but there is no space at the beginning or at the end of the string. So that's how dot strip works. And our next operation is dot replace. So dot replace is used to replace a substring with the another substring. For example, here we have a string name text that is saying I love Python. But if we want to change that with the I love coding, so how can we do? We can replace the substring Python with the substring coding. And for that we'll write print, then the name of the string in which we want to change, that will be the text dot replace, then the older string we want to replace, that is the python, and the new string we want to replace with, that is the coding. And when we'll run this code we'll see here we have got a new string that is saying I love Python. So that was the use of the dot replace. Our next operation is that find. In the find is operation, we used to search for substring within a string, and it returns the index of its occurrence, and if the substring not found in it, then it will return -1. For example, here we have a string name text that is saying I love Python, and for example, if we want to search that is Python present in the string or not, so how can we do that? For that we need to write print, then the name of the string, that is text, then the dot, then the name of the operation, that is find, and what word we want to search, that is Python. And if we'll run this code, we'll see that that is returning the index of the word Python. And in case, let's convert this with the part coding, and as we can see that coding is not present in the string text, and when we'll run this code, we'll see that is giving the -1. That means that coding word is not present in the string text. Now let's move forward. Our next operation is dot split. This method is used to break a string into a list of substring based on a specific separator, and if there is no separator provided, it defaults to splitting by spaces. For example, here we have a string name text that is saying Python is fun. And if we want to separate all the substrings, so how can we do? We'll write print, then the name of the string that is text, then the dot split. And when we'll run this code, we'll see we have got three substrings. That one is Python, another is, and another is fun. And we have got all the list of these substrings. So now let's move forward. Our next operation is dot join, and that is used to join elements of an iterable into a single string. For example, here we have a list of substrings, and if we want to combine all those strings into a single string, we can use dot join. Let's create a string name sentence, and in that string we'll write the joining element, that is the space, and then we want to write join, and then the name of the list we want to join here, that is list, that is named words. And when we'll run this code, we need to print that, so we need to write print sentence. And when we'll run this, we'll see we have got a string that is saying Python is fun, that is joined all the letters with the space between them. And if we change that space to that symbol, and if we'll run this code, we can see that we have got dash between all these letters. So that's how dot join works. Now our next operation is dot start with, that is used for checking if the string starts with a specific prefix, and if it's present then it will return the true, otherwise that will return the false. For example, here we have a string name text that is saying Python is amazing, and now if we want to check that is that string start with the word Python or not, how can we do that? We need to write print, then the name of the string, that is text, then we'll write dot start with that the word, then the word whatever we want to check. Here it is Python, and when we'll run this code, we can see that here we need to capitalize the word P, and when we'll run this code, that is saying the true, that means the string text is starting with the word Python, that's why that is saying true. And same for the dot ends with, if we want to check the last word of the string, then we can use dot end with, and for that we'll have same syntax as we have for the dot start with. So how can we do that? We'll write print, then print, then text dot ends with. And when we'll run this code, here I have not changed that need to give the value false, because that string is not ending with the word Python, that's why that is giving false. And if we convert that with the word amazing, and when we'll run this code, we can see that that is giving true. So these were the basic operations of the string. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you.